Good morning. I pray that your Wednesday was filled with spaces and places of joy, of peace, of happiness. And for some of us, that may have been a bit difficult because yesterday brought some news that even as some of us had said, I didn't think it was going to be any different, we still had reserved a modicum of hope. I'm talking about the decision by the grand jury in Kentucky in the Breonna Taylor case. So today we're going to talk about self-care in these times of systemic trauma. And I want to title this, I See You, I Got You, and You Matter. I see you, I got you, and you matter. I used to pastor a church for a number of years, and when I would leave church on Sunday, it was a big building, and I'd have to drive around the building to get back out to the street. And my normal pattern had been to call my dad so I could talk to him on my ride home because I lived quite a distance from the church. And right at the time of the election, when it had been determined who was now residing in the White House, I called him. And for many of you who may or may not know my dad, he was a big proponent of Black people, of people of color. He stood up to everything and everybody. He did not allow a closed door to stop him. If there was something that he needed or wanted or he felt like the community needed, he was the voice. And so when I was lamenting to him about the outcome of the election, he said, you know what? I'm not even worried about it because we've been through this before. He said, and I know how to get through this. This is nothing new. He said, and we'll get through this. We'll get through it this time. And I mentioned him because he was called home to be with the Lord not too long after that. But frequently in this 2020 time, I've often found myself wondering, I wonder what he would think about 2020 and all of the foolishness and all of the trickery and all of the just out and out evil that's given itself to just be manifested, that has really, really challenged our psyche. And for some of us, it's really had us wrestling with feeling re-traumatized, with feeling depressed, with feeling our anxiety increasing. I know of folk who are talking about seriously moving out of the country if this election brings us 4 more years of this stuff. So I decided in my walk this morning that I would veer away from my normal topic and kind of talk about how do we practice self-care during these trying times. And I think it's even more trying because we're social distancing. We're not able to do the things that we would normally do. We're finding ourselves paying more attention to social media and TV and things like that. And you can't even get on your news feed, without someone feeling that they need to show you a video of someone being murdered in the street by those who wear blue uniforms or, just trauma all around us. So my message to you is around, again, self-care during these systemic traumatic times, because that grand jury conclusion just exemplifies that the challenges with this country are on a systemic level. It's gone beyond an individual level. There are systems that need to be dismantled, disrupted, and reorganized so that there's justice for all. And so my first thing, I have 3 points because I am a good preacher and I rarely ever preach on here, but I am a good preacher and I wrote them down during my walk. And so I'm reading them to myself now so I didn't forget. But the first point is to allow yourself to grieve. So many of my friends and companions have been writing on social media that we're just devastated that we're just sad, that we're just really angry, we're really hurt. Allow yourself to grieve. Grieving is so important. Don't just rush by that. Allow yourself to grieve. To grieve the state of this country, to grieve that when you were hopeful, it was dashed yet once again. Allow yourself to grieve. Second point, allow yourself to rage. Yes, you can grieve and have rage at the same time. You can make space for it. Allow yourself to be angry. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Allow yourself to be fearful for your children, for yourself. I had a person come in to do some work in my home, a plumber. And when I came to the door and I looked at the person, my first thought was, oh Lord, here we go. Can I trust this handy person, this contractor who's a different race from me? And do I know what his thoughts are or what his politics are? And I shouldn't have to go through that when I open my door. So allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to rage. And I guess I do have 4 points, but put a time limit on your rage. Allow yourself to rage, but don't get stuck in it. Allow yourself to grieve, but don't get stuck in it. Instead, give yourself space and time to do that, and then pick yourself up, wash your face, change your clothes, and my 4th point is get going into action. Into action. And what is the action point? Make sure that you vote. Make sure that you get out the vote. Make sure that you bring this message to everyone who is eligible to vote over the age of 18. Your friends and family members who may be saying, my vote doesn't matter, wear them out with this message. Yes, it does. Tell them, I see you. I got you. You matter, and your vote matters. Make sure that you're registered. Make sure that you know your status. If there are elderly or people who need help getting to the polls or getting their ballots placed where they need to go, assist them. Get out of your complacency. I know how you feel. I know how you feel because I'm feeling the same way. But even as you allow yourself to grieve, as you allow yourself to rage, make room for action. Get out the vote. Get out the vote. Because you matter. Because I matter. Because we matter as a collective. Our children and our children's children deserve so much more. And voting is the first step of dismantling systemic racism, systemic sexism, systemic whatever other ism that you can think of. I love each and every one of you, and I am praying for you during this time period. Love you. I see you. I got you, and you matter. Bye-bye.